Okay, so as I've been doing my study recently, I've noticed this big move on synopsis, and this is on June 24th. There was a move here. Now I look back to my hit list for that week, and this was on there because this is a Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and just lock to this date, all charts, boom. Okay, but I'm going to go back to Friday. And this looked like a positive. This is a big move down after a big move up. The auto wave line on the daily wasn't drawn yet, but or at all, but still, I put this on my hit list because it looked like there was a good possibility that it could move forward. So I'm going to go ahead and move back, actually, to the first candle on the 24th. Now I have been out of the habit of checking the charts in the middle of the day. Um, and I guess that's a lack of confidence or a lack of something, but I'm going to go ahead and check this out. Now, if I were to look at, um, let's look at some charts, some market charts. Okay, so that's definitely going up. I wouldn't call that straight line information on that candle, but anyway, it's definitely moving up. We'll go to the comp and similar, although I think this is similar, but I think you could make a stronger argument for that one. Actually, if we right here is the 144, so by rule, I guess that's not necessarily in the markets, but still, it's definitely moving up. Let's look at the S&P moving up. Uh, Wilshire 5000, same story, and the Russell, boom, also very similar. Okay, I'm going to go back to synopsis, SNPS, and one thing to kind of note here is if you look at this candle, the first candle of the day, what would you say is, I'm going to go back one. So this stock RSI has already crossed. And I think you could say 3 of 3 right here. The Christmas cross, MACD, and the directional movement. And even if you were to come back, if you go back one candle, you're basically in there for the 144. Anyway, so what I think is interesting about this is you look at the weekly, it was going really sideways for a good 5 weeks. Well, I guess, well, the red line at least. If I were to turn off the candles, boom, you can see that's just really sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, plus this candle, like 5 candles. Um, so that's kind of a lot, just kind of hanging around. This is something that I feel like I see. It's like, well, it's kind of stuck in the sideways for a long time. The Bollinger Bands aren't super tight. They're pretty normal. Um, there's just a lot of, you have the 34 right here. You have the 144 right here. You have the 21, and you just have all these, not exactly converging, but kind of. I mean, the 34 is crossing the 144, and the 13 is crossing the 21 right there. But it's just kind of stuck in this range between these moving average lines 144 and then the 55, but then it kind of rattled between the 144 and the 34 right there. So just kind of rattled around there for a long time. This one, if you were to draw a line, maybe from here and here, you could see that's kind of coming to a point. You could see something kind of similar here on the daily as well. I think there's a name for that kind of pattern, but I'm not very savvy on those names. So let's just go ahead and we'll come up here to the daily, and we'll just pace forward. That's one. I'll go ahead and draw a line so we can see. Actually, let's go back because this is where I see the move to have started. So 477. So that's actually going to go forward 3 candles because it was halfway. So we'll just go, that's it. Set another day and a half, another day, another day. So hit the top Bollinger Band, pulled back. This went above the top Bollinger Band, which is rising, and pulled back. So it's a white candle with a large top wick, very large. But you can look at these, reached up and touched resistance lines. But let's just keep watching. Another candle. So it went from 495 to 502 with well above that on the high of the day it was. Well, I guess I had, or the close of that candle is 508. So 6 higher, go 512. So 10 more points. That goes to 521, another about 10 points. 5 goes up 2 more points. And yeah, I don't think it's done because I'm on the 10th of July. So it leaps up there, which is very interesting because we're in the, this is inside the Super 6, but the earnings window's back here. So I'm not sure what's going on, but little pullback, come back within the top Bollinger Band on the daily, and then a new high, go sideways. And then this is today's candle, goes up to 566. So why didn't I see that? That's what I'm wondering is why didn't I see that? And I think maybe what happened was um, I didn't look at it midday. I looked at it right here and I said, well, looks like I missed that trade. And I mean, this was crossing, not quite crossing. So maybe I talked myself out of it. Maybe I have 2 out of 3. I don't know. Just said, well, I missed the trade. Even though from there to there, it went up $1. I mean, that wasn't a big move. So I try to follow the rules, but I don't follow the rules on checking the charts in the middle of the day for some reason. And it turns out trades start after the midday and the middle of the day. Let me point out some other things. Kind of look at this 21. That's not super steep, and you can kind of imagine that it's flattening. Not imagine, I think it is kind of flattening right here. Actually declined there, and then, but it wasn't, I'm still watching that 21. Only about right here did it kind of hit that, flat slope. But still, it wasn't like it was like this 21 right here, and you're trying to get it to move away from it or something like that. So I look at those things. I'm trying to see what I can learn here. There is a good amount of resistance right here. What made that different? I don't know, but I guess maybe I just thought, well, I didn't, I, I didn't. Sorry, I'm trying to look at something else. The 24th. I'm looking at my notes for the market that day, and I didn't have anything written about synopsis, so that's interesting. So I'm just trying to learn so I can get better. Just be diligent to just take a look. I think sometimes, like if I were to look at like all of these candles from here to here. Like maybe I would have anticipated that. Well, right here seems like a really good opportunity to potentially, like if that were an up candle right there, you'd be crossing. This would already be under 20, and it'd be crossing, and that would be crossing, and maybe I would have thought, hey, this could be a white candle, but didn't really have stuff here. So I don't know. I think maybe I just lose patience, or it's like, well, I'm not going to see these. I shouldn't. That I don't expect to see these trades or something. But this is not exactly a hard trade to see. Like right there, we have one, two, three, and that's a little bit behind, but still, it's definitely moving up, and those are low. So that's helpful. We can count here one, two. We could just count two here. That's the bottom wick, so I don't count that. So two. Right here, I guess maybe I'd have a hard time getting to three. Maybe that was part of it. Because right here, that's coming off the 233. That's not exactly touching, but it's on the 34. So I guess that's touching. A white seems very reasonable. Um, you can kind of talk yourself into those, but I try to be honest when I do these call of the candles because I want to get it right. I don't want to just force a trade. I've done that a lot of times, but the thing is, you got to learn. So if I were to go one more candle, just trying to give myself a little bit of grace, see what I was learning here. So one, or what I was seeing, what I didn't learn, I guess. One, if I turn off these candles, I'm kind of blabbering here, but this is for myself. I guess that's crossing. It's kind of a weird shape. It's like it's crossing down. So this is crossing up and this is effectively crossing down. So I don't know that I'd really count that. This is crossing down. This just crossed down. So um, I don't know. I think you could call I mean, it would definitely be correct to call it 34. Um, you could call either of these as a turning point. I'm not going to call any of these, but this is crossing. This is crossing. I wouldn't really say that's quite crossing, but that's definitely not quite crossing. I mean, it's getting closer. Um, so this is synopsis, and I'm going to do another one right after this.